strongest always stand alone. Have you ever sat in silence so long that it feels like the emptiness starts talking back? That's when the truth begins to creep in, a truth most people aren't brave enough to confront. The world doesn't care about your pain. It doesn't care about your tears, your battles, or the nights you've spent falling apart with nothing but your own hands to catch the pieces. The world is cold, unfeeling, and the ones who manage to claw their way out of the abyss do it without anyone's help. They do it alone. Always alone. People love to throw around words, loyalty, family, brotherhood. But let me tell you something real. Loyalty fades the moment things heat up. Family disappears when the storm gets too wild. Brotherhood? That's just a word, a hollow promise. When you hit rock bottom, shattered and struggling to breathe, don't expect anyone to reach down and pull you up. They'll step over you like you never mattered. That's the truth. The strongest don't rise because someone rescued them. They rise because they rescued themselves. You want to know why the strongest are always alone? It's because we see the world for what it really is, a battlefield. And on a battlefield, trust is a liability. Trust will get you hurt. Hope will betray you. And love? Love will carve a void so deep in your chest, you'll spend a lifetime trying to fill it. Think back to every time you let someone into your life, every time you opened your heart. Where are those people now? Gone. But you? You're still here. Barely breathing, but alive. And in the end, that's what matters. Pain changes you. It strips away the parts of you that couldn't survive and leaves behind something raw, unbreakable. Pain teaches lessons the weak will never grasp. It whispers, don't trust, don't depend, don't shatter. You take that pain and wear it like armor. Let it seep into your bones, fueling your rage, your hunger, your drive. You're not a victim. You're a warrior. And warriors don't need sympathy, they wear their scars like trophies. Ever notice how quiet it gets at the top? That's because most people give up long before they get there. They crumble. But you keep climbing, dragging yourself through the mud, the blood, and the lies. And when you finally stand at the summit, you'll realize you're alone. It's cold. It's silent. But that's where the strongest stand, alone, looking down at those who couldn't make it. Strength doesn't come from numbers or having people by your side. It comes from standing when everything inside you is broken. It comes from fighting when your hands are trembling. It comes from walking through fire and coming out on the other side. You've been abandoned, betrayed, forgotten. Good. Use it. Let their absence remind you that you don't need anyone. Every scar, every tear, every ounce of pain, that's your power. Wear it like a crown. People fear those who don't break, who don't bend. They'll call you cold, cruel, heartless. Let them. Their words don't hurt like the knives you've already pulled from your back. You owe no one an explanation or an apology. You owe yourself victory. You've survived the storm while others hid. You carried the weight when others broke. And now, they look at you with envy and fear because they know they'll never be like you. This path isn't for everyone. Most people don't have the guts to walk it. They crumble at the first sign of darkness. But you You embrace the shadows. You've made them your home. Because the strongest warriors are forged in the blackest nights. When dawn comes, it's not the light that saves you. It's the fire inside you, the fire you kept burning when the world tried to extinguish it. Keep walking, warrior. Keep fighting. You don't owe anyone your trust, your love, or your loyalty. You owe yourself the climb, the crown, and the victory. When they see you standing there, bloody but unbroken, they'll finally understand the strongest are always alone. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. They'll stare, speechless, as the reality of your resilience crashes into them like a tidal wave. The whispers will turn into silence, and their doubts will wither under the weight of your triumph. But you won't need their validation. You never did. Their disbelief wasn't your enemy, it was your fuel. Every time they said you couldn't, you turned their words into a stepping stone. Every betrayal became a lesson, and every setback forged you into steel. Standing there, you'll realize something profound. You didn't climb the mountain for them to see you. You climbed it so you could see the world from the top. You didn't fight to prove them wrong. You fought to prove to yourself that no storm could shatter you, no loss could define you, and no darkness could consume your light. The truth is, your journey was never about revenge, it was about redemption. Not for the person they thought you were, but for the person you always knew you could be. The broken pieces they left behind weren't your ending, they were your foundation. Brick by jagged brick, you rebuilt yourself, stronger, wiser, and unshakable. They'll wonder how you survived the nights that should have destroyed you. They'll ask how you carried the weight of the world on your shoulders without breaking. But you won't answer, because they wouldn't understand. Survival wasn't just something you did, it became who you are. Every scar tells a story they'll never comprehend, and every tear you shed in silence became the ink that rewrote your destiny. You've learned to stand alone, and in doing so, you discovered your power. Power doesn't come from the cheers of a crowd or the applause of strangers. It comes from standing in the fire and refusing to burn. It comes from walking through hell and leaving footprints behind to guide those who dare to follow. But make no mistake, this isn't the end of your fight. The battle doesn't stop just because you've won this war. The world is relentless, and so are you. You've chosen a path that isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who know that strength is earned, not given. That victory is a moment, but resilience is forever. Now, as the world watches, you set your sights higher. Not out of arrogance, but out of purpose. You're not here to settle, you're here to soar. You don't fear the next challenge because you've already faced the worst. You've already been at the bottom, and you know the way out. Let them talk, let them doubt, and let them wonder. Their opinions are the faint echoes of a past you've left behind. You don't need them to see your worth, because you've already seen it in yourself. The road ahead is yours, and it's paved with the lessons you've earned, the battles you've fought, and the victories that are still waiting. So walk on, warrior. Keep climbing, keep rising, and keep proving to yourself and to the universe that the strongest flame burns brightest in the darkest night. And when you stand at the top of the next mountain, remember this, it wasn't the world that made you, it was you who made yourself. Alone, unbroken, and unstoppable.